Breaking news from Europe. As the war in Ukraine continues to shape global politics, European leaders are now considering a dramatic new step: the creation of a 25-mile-wide security buffer zone, guarded by as many as 60,000 NATO troops. Could this mark the beginning of a new Iron Curtain across Europe? Let's dive deeper into this developing story. For more than 2 years, Ukraine has stood at the center of one of the most dangerous conflicts in modern history. Cities a millions displacés. Thus, while Ukraine continues to resist Russian advances, Western allies have been forced to think about what comes next. Now, a bold proposal has emerged in Europe, establishing what leaders are calling a buffer zone. This would be a 25-mile-wide strip of land, stretching across key parts of Ukraine and patrolled by NATO forces. The purpose: to separate Ukraine from Russian-controlled territory, prevent further attacks, and create a space that could eventually lead to peace negotiations. The numbers are staggering. Reports suggest that as many as 60,000 NATO troops could be deployed to enforce this zone. This would be one of the largest military operations in Europe since World War II, but the plan is not without controversy. Critics argue that sending NATO troops into Ukraine could escalate tensions with Russia even further. Moscow has already warned against such actions, claiming it would see them as direct involvement in the war. Manuel. Supporters believe that only a strong international presence can guarantee long-term stability in Eastern Europe. Beyond the military debate, there are also political and financial challenges. The cost of deploying and maintaining tens of thousands of troops would be massive. European nations, already struggling with economic pressures, must decide whether they are willing to take on this burden. At the same time, there are questions about whether Ukraine itself would support or reject the idea of a buffer zone that could limit its territorial claims in the future. Still, many leaders argue that without bold steps like this, the conflict could drag on indefinitely with devastating consequences for both Ukraine and Europe as a whole. The idea of a new Iron Curtain, dividing East and West, has become a chilling possibility. But for some, it may be the only way to secure peace. So what does this mean for the future of Europe? For now, the buffer zone remains just a proposal, but the discussions are serious and ongoing. If it becomes reality, it could reshape global security for decades to come. Will it bring peace or only deepen divisions? That's the question leaders and the world will have to answer in the coming months. Stay tuned for more updates, because this story is far from over.